truly impossible is waiting just ahead.
Stick out of here in the front row.
Ladies and gentlemen, creeps of all ages, prepare your eyes for a phantasmagorical sight like no other. The fates have smiled upon us with a dark dose of Halloween in the summer. You have to see it to believe it. Welcome to the Not Scary Farm 2026 preview event Sideshow of Horror. Tonight, all of your nightmares will be revealed.
Good evening and welcome everybody. My name is Jeff Tucker. Welcome to Nightmares Revealed! I'm who you get when you can't afford Neil Patrick Harris. Welcome everybody. With this hat on, I'm almost natural size. All right. Are you ready for some scare fog in the summer? Come on, I want to hear it. We've been waiting almost a year for that Scary Farm goodness to come rolling in, and I know that you're my people. I've always said we have the greatest fans in the world. I want to thank you for trusting us and joining us here for this one-of-a-kind event where we get to talk about all the stuff that we love. As a wise man once said, join me, shall you? All right, welcome to our little sideshow of horrors. We're so excited to pull back the veil on Knott's Scary Farm 2026 and reveal all the horrific hauntings we have in store for you. However, before we venture any further in tonight's proceedings, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce two icons of the macabre, the extraordinary, the incomparable, the fabulous Boulet Brothers! There they carefully go. Others later tonight at the newly refurbished Birdcage Theater, where they will host a podcast discussing the highlights of tonight's event. We'll be seeing you both again later this evening. Until then, enjoy the nightmare. Let's hear it for them. All right, before we reveal what's lurking in the fog, let me give you a few important dates. Knott's Scary Farm returns for its 53 terrifying years. Select nights starting September 17th through Halloween night, October 31st. Who's going opening night? Check out Knotts.com and pick a date or a bunch, or better yet, buy a pass and be here every night like I am. All right. Let's keep going. Are you ready? We're going to keep going. For our younger goblins, Knott's Spooky Farm returns. Select days, September 24th through October 31st. Who's going to be our opening day? A couple of people. All right. It brings plenty of family-friendly Halloween fun to the park during the daytime. I know, the daytime, right? What's that? All right. We're going to keep going. There's something new this Halloween season. Introducing the Midway Games stamp card. Pick up a card, test your skills at 8 Midway games throughout the season, and you can collect 8 stamps and get a free plush. A free plush. All right. And returning this year, let's not forget the amazing Legacy Store, which is open tonight. The Legacy Store celebrates the incredible past, bringing together exclusive merchandise and collectibles inspired by the characters, attractions, and terrifying traditions that have made Knott's Scary Farm legendary. All right, you ready for it? Tonight, during Nightmares Revealed, our event, filming inside our 2 lights-on mazes, Widows and Room 13, is permitted and encouraged. We want you to film everything. Tell people what we're doing here. That's the whole point of this event. But when the fog rolls in for good on September 17th, we ask that you put the camera away. And it's, give it to me. Oh, everyone's a YouTuber. I have 12 subscribers. Anyways. Welcome back to my channel. Okay. Put away the camera and experience Knott Scary Farm the way it was intended, without knowing what comes next. We don't want spoilers here. We don't want anyone to say that Rosebud's the sled, Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father, Bruce Willis is dead all the time, or that Tyler Durden is the narrator.
What?
I know. All right. Now that we have that out of our system, right? Let's talk about the one thing that makes everyone happy. And what we're talking about, scare fog, we're also talking about drinks.
Yeah!
Who's going to drink it over tonight? Oh, thank you, Mom. All right. This year's frighteningly good offerings have been exclusively concocted for Knott Scary Farm by Brewery X. This includes Cherry After Dark, which I think you can get on Beach and Ball sometimes. Cherry After Dark. A black cherry glow seltzer that glows under UV light. Carnival IPA, a cotton candy double hazy IPA. I know, I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I've never had alcohol my entire life, I know. And my friend Thomas made fun of me earlier this morning. Wicked Wheat, a blood orange Hefeweizen. Hefeweizen. Let's all do that together. Hefeweizen. See, somebody said it right. All right. Oh, we're gonna be a thing. We have 12 subscribers. Okay. For something a little more substantial to sink your teeth into, we have food offerings, including the Zoo Tots. I know, I don't know what it is either, but it sounds great. The Zoo Tots. The Poison Apple Funnel Cake. Or if you're really daring, Stabbed Cheddar. And I had to ask what this was. Stabbed cheddar is cheddar cheese fried in corn dog batter, covered in nacho cheese, and rolled in hot Cheetos. Make sure the bathroom is right next door.
It was like recording the screen about the whole setup. It was just recording the screen.
Ectoplasm. Are you
That's why I didn't move.
pineapple
I just stood
margarita?
my ground.
That sounds great, right? All right. And that's just a tiny sample of the food and beverages available at Knott Scary Farm. It would take 2 hours to go through them all. We just want you to head out in the park when it's open and experience all that food for yourself. All right. We got out of the way. We're getting into it, right? The reason you're all here tonight, you want to know what's going on? And I'm here to tell you what's going on. First up, returning mazes. These immersive nightmares are so scary that you probably were streaming and running out so fast you didn't even see all the detail that went into them. So we're giving you a second chance to go through them again. The returning mazes will have you screaming again. Here they are. All right, you see me like that? Right? And don't miss out on being terrorized by the two mazes on their last year here. The Curse of Calico, Origins, the Curse of Calico, and the Chilling Chambers. I know. They're going away. This is your last year to see them. So make sure you go check it out. You don't want to be an old man of 27 sitting around going, man, I heard those mazes were so good. I wish I could have seen them. Oh my gosh, why did I not do it? I'm such a loser. I should just go to Halloween Horror Nights. No, you don't want to be that person. Don't they open next week? What nightmare are they revealing? Ass sweat? No, listen. Ooh, they have a Stranger Things maze. Stranger Things. I bet the maze is really long with a really bad ending. Okay! I want 17 hours of my life back, Netflix. Thank you. All right. Let's get into the returning Scare Zones, attractions, and returning shows. First up, Ghost Town Streets, where it all began. The fog rolls through the streets of Calico as the legendary Ghost Town monsters emerge from the shadows, ready to welcome you to another night of terror. Forsaken Lake. You dare wander the Forsaken Lake and enter their eternal procession. This is the Gauntlet, isn't it? No, this is Forsaken Lake. Forsaken, see, I knew. And this is the Gauntlet, right? Yes. A twisted medieval nightmare where sinister creatures, dark magic, and unspeakable horrors lurk in the dark and apparently go out of order. Yes, they do. Getting through may be another matter. Be careful in the Gauntlet. Look at that guy. We're throwing down the Gauntlet. The Roaring 20s. The Roaring 20s are back with a vengeance. Gangsters, revelers, and creatures of the night take over Memory Lane, where the jazz is hot, the spirits are flowing, and everybody is simply dying for a good time. All right. That is 4 Scare Zones returning. Terrifying worlds, hundreds of creatures, and there's nowhere left to hide here at Knott Scary Farm. And of course, some Scary Farm favorite shows and attractions are returning to the Fog this year, such as Into the Fog, the official Scary Farm tribute art show, showcasing an incredible collection of original artwork inspired by more than 50 years of farm history. And finally, get ready to step back into the roaring and screaming 20s with the Hootin' Howlers and the Hotsy Totsy Hoppers. Say that loud, fast. Hotsy Totsy Hoppers. Return to Memory Lane for the Blind Tiger Balcony Soiree. They bring their red-hot, high-energy dancing and jazz and slightly sinister speakeasy back to the Roaring 20s! All right. There's nowhere to hide. Each zone is filled with monsters just dying to get your attention. Wait a minute. I think I missed the show. I missed one. Wasn't there something missing from that list? There was one thing. Oh, I know what it was. I remember. Wait, I know. It's time for a costume change. Ladies?
Take it off, Jeff!
It's my first time, be gentle. I've always wanted to do this. I think I can handle it. Listen up, you primitive screwheads! This here is my boomstick! And I've got just one question for you. Are you ready for a hanging? I've always wanted to do that. The hanging returns, I'm proud to say, to Wagon Camp this year. And the hanging this year we will be noose-maxing. What that means, I have no idea because I'm old. All right, now you diehards know that the hanging began in the 1970s as a real witch hanging. They used to drag Sarah Marshall through the streets of Calico, all the way up to the gallows, and make her confess to being the one true green witch. That's not part of the show, folks.
Collected creeps. Having a little gathering, are we? I don't remember allowing this. And nothing happens at Knott Scary Farm without me!
Excuse me, Miss Green Witch? I'm kind of in the middle of something, and I was just getting to the really good stuff. I'm going to announce all the new and exciting mazes and shows that are coming. Maybe, you could come back after we open. Either
Your time is up, Tucker.
This show is mine now. Take him away!
Wait a minute, you can't just take me a... Well, I could probably go for a few minutes. Maybe we could go to Oogie Boogie Bash. I'm a Disney adult.
Tonight I summon the dark forces from beyond the swirling mist. Terrors unknown, hidden and lurking. But know this, it is new scares and torments that you crave. Horrors and monsters from beyond the grave. Blood, flesh, decay, rot and bone. From Carnival rises a reimagined Scare Zone! From the cauldron awaits the Sideshow's past. His grotesque sideshow will be your last. For terror, look no further than the one called Mesmer! Hey guys, look over there!
Get right up, boys and girls, to your favorite carnival.
Oh, do we smell of something? Good evening, my miserable puppets. It is I, Mesmer, and my malicious menagerie. I am the new Lord and Master of Carnival. You may be asking yourself where I have been for the last year. Why, to the darkest reaches of the earth, my creepy consumers. From back alleys and dark roads, I bring new terrors, sure to delight all the senses. I have procured new oddities and curiosities from my travel, and I will present them to you in the foggy neon nightmare just beyond the fountain. Forget all you know about Carnival and step into a new dimension of terror. And don't worry, your death is included with admission. Oh, but I am not the only master of dark secrets on this farm.
From mysterious midways we turn a tattered page. We focus our energy into Ghost Town's famous bird cage. To find true magic, there really is no hassle. Knott's forges a partnership with the world famous Magic Castle!
Of haunted items from Knott's Scary Farm's history. So you know everything about Knott's too. Like, you always tell us the best stories when we come here. It's fun to just hang out with you. In fact, one of my favorite stories, maybe you could share with the crowd, is the story of the minecart ride.
Well, before we get to the minecart ride, can I share my favorite story? Yeah. We got ready in Elvira's old dressing room tonight. End of story.
Okay, so let's talk about the minecart ride, because I think it's a really interesting piece of Knott's history.
Yeah, it is actually a really unique piece of history. I mean, it was originally created and designed by Bud Hurlbut, which many of you may know. It was also one of the very first, haunted attractions here. And actually sitting here on the stage tonight is a piece of history that we unearthed in 2013 and nobody knew it existed. It was in the Haunt Museum. A little ghost guy right here. When we remodeled Log Ride in 2013, this little guy was found hanging way up high up on a little gunite hook inside Log Ride, and one of the rides maintenance guys said, "Hey, do you want this?" And I was like, "Absolutely, I want this." I mean, it was covered in dirt and filth. So, and this is actually a real piece from the 70s that was in Log Ride or Mine Ride. We don't know which one because they were actually in both. And they're made out of styrofoam wig heads, believe it or not.
It looks like they've been hiring drag queens back in Knott's even in the 70s. They're very familiar with styrofoam wig heads.
Absolutely. Little acetone to melt and make the face, and they just hand painted little kids' gloves with UV paint. We didn't do anything except clean it, and that was it. But this is exactly what it was. And the inside frame is chicken wire.
Well, I think if you don't return it to the Log Ride, the curse will not be broken, so just fair warning. And tell us about the couch next to the ghost.
Well, I'm sure everybody recognizes this couch, right? So, Miss Elvira spent many a year here, as you all know. This couch was actually used in a couple different shows here at the park. And on the last show, on the last night of the 2017 season, I said, "All right, I need you to do me a favor. You gotta sign this couch because we're not gonna do anything with it. We're gonna put it away and pull it out on special occasions." And she was nice enough to sign it for me.
Was anyone present in 2017 for that last show when Elvira was here?
Woo!
So were we. I mean, the car, the flames, the rain, the dancers. I was like, bitch, they brought it. Oh my God, she brought it this year. It was so good. And little tidbit, Drac and I have thrown the LA Halloween ball every year for like 20 years. That year, her last year here, she literally got in the car, dressed, drove right downtown to the Globe Theater, and jumped on stage with us for our Halloween ball where she was like a featured guest, and it was incredible.
She actually invited me to go with her. She's like, "You can come in the car with me, but you're gonna have to get your own way home." And I'm like, "I have not Ubered."
That's a bad deal.
So let's see, I think we recognize the Crypt Keeper over here. What's this piece from?
So we actually had the Crypt Keeper, and he had his own show here. Did anybody ever actually get to see that? No.
Yeah, we have someone here right in the front row.
Oh, okay.
The one hardcore fan. Congratulations to you, sir.
In 1995, the Crypt Keeper had a show here at Knott's Berry Farm in the Good Time Theater, Cool Time Theater, or currently the Walter Knott Theater. And it was Knott's Gory Tales live on stage. John Kaiser actually voiced the character and was one of the puppeteers on stage every night. It was actually a lot of fun. I was actually working in wardrobe at the time, and I did all the costumes for the show, so I got to work with him and dress him too.
Was it multiple years or just 1 year?
Well, he actually reappeared in The Hanging a few times. He hosted The Hanging various times over the years.
And let's move on to this Boney Maloney. Tell us about that.
Does he look familiar to anybody? Yeah? Yeah, you're exactly
Bingo.
right. You're exactly right. He was actually created by Derek Riggs for Knott's Berry Farm. There were a couple of them actually. There was Boney Maloney and Rotten Robin, and they were in the early 2000s. We most commonly use Boney Maloney, but it was created by Derek Riggs.
Who's the same creator of the Iron Maiden? Like, is it Evil Eddie? Am I saying it right? Yeah.
It's Eddie.
I remember that from like being a kid, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" I love it. It's terrifying.
I would say he's kind of a distant cousin of Eddie.
Definitely see the family relation.
Yeah.
Well, I think these are a fantastic group of props. Let's give Jeff some applause.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed them. maybe everybody got to learn a little new piece of history.
Yeah.
So, because there's a lot of it around here.
What's your favorite bit of history that maybe the public doesn't know?
Well, it's all pretty well known. I mean, in my time here, because this is going to be my 34th Halloween this year, I think my greatest.
So when were you hired, when you were like 6 or 7?
Exactly. I was a little, character in a carriage.
He wore that ghost outfit.
Yeah, exactly. That was mine. So, no, I think one of my greatest times was as I actually I got to costume design for Elvira on some of her shows. I was wardrobe running crew, I was prop crew, and I think the relationship I built with her over the years. And
creators panel where we're going to take a look at some of our mazes and what we just talked about over at the main stage. What y'all think about that? Awesome. There is so much wonderful new stuff that is coming this year at Not Scary Farm. And I'm so excited to dive a little bit deeper into our 2 brand new mazes this year. Before we get started, my name is Christopher Doe. I am the producer here at Not Scary Farm, more specifically Not Scary Farm this evening. And I am joined by our 2 wonderful art directors for our 2 brand new mazes. John with Unearthed. And then we have Daniel with Inked. So before we jump into our first maze, those trailers were amazing. So let's take a look at that first trailer again. So here we go.
I'm here. Site 74. I'm very deep down here. I hope this transmission goes through. But guys, I found it. I actually found it. It's in pieces, but surprisingly intact. And you can see the uniform. See there? Let me show you another piece.
John Aspirin, we have been talking about this for about a year now. We can finally talk about it. Unearthed, what in the world is this?
Well, going back to your point, it feels good talking about it because it's literally been under wraps for about a year and a half. So it's nice to finally talk about it. But Unearthed is basically, it's a terrifying story that takes place over at Site 74. Which is this excavation site in the heart of Egypt, in the Sinai Peninsula to be exact. And Unearthed is basically the moment that the archaeologist and the excavation team find these ancient tablets that when they begin to decipher it, they begin to awaken these ghastly creatures and these mysterious entities deep within this uncharted caverns of Site 74. And of course, all this leads to what we call the smoking gun, which is the existence of the fabled Anunnaki, which is this Mesopotamian deity dating all the way back from Sumerian, Assyrian, ancient Egypt that have a lot of influences in regards to the Anunnaki. And basically the stories about are the excavators and the archaeologists that become trapped inside these uncharted caverns, and they send a distress signal out and the world reacts. The top scholars, world-renowned archaeologists and things of that sort, and they assemble this search and rescue team from around the world. Unearthed in our story takes place the moment that our guests, which are the search and rescue team members, arrive at this ravaged Site 74, where they get a chance to meet this character, the lone survivor, called Dispatch, who then basically lets them know that they are arriving at a place that is just completely booby-trapped, and that these creatures, unknown creatures of sorts, have come out of the woodworks and hopefully you guys will get a chance to experience that storyline.
What I love about that is that our guests now they're going to be showing up in boots. They're going to be ready to go. They're like, I'm going to an excavation site. We're doing this. I love it. Should we go inside and maybe show them a room or two about what we're doing?
Yeah, you guys want to check it out? So I think the cool thing is a question that we get asked a lot is just the process of creating some of these scenes, and we'll take you through this scene, which is called Bones of the Broken, which is one of the first rooms that you encounter in these newly uncharted ruins. And Bones of the Broken, basically, it's crazy, and I hope this is probably like NC-17, so I'm gonna get a little disclaimer right now and tell you a little bit backstory behind this. The Anunnaki had these builders, and in our world, we get a chance to kind of blur the lines of historical mythology and also at the same time kind of shape it into our own little terrifying story. And in our story, their builders are these Nephilim giants. And the Nephilim giants in this, don't get grossed out, the Nephilim giants refuse to, and they're these immortal giants that refuse to eat, and one of them got in prison. And this one, who over the centuries refused to eat the prisoners that was being fed to. So what did he do? He basically fed upon himself and his stomach, so that anytime he happened to eat someone, in this case, they would end up finding their way out of his rib cage. So in this case, in this scene, guests get a chance to see our beloved Bones character, and let's kind of sort of take you through the process, shall we? Let's go on to the next slide. So our character, and one of the things that we love to do, Daniel and I both, and all of the rest of the designers love to do, is dive into the whole character designs and monster designs and creating all these creatures. And this happens to be one of the actors that you'll see, which is unfortunately one of the peasants that was eaten by Bones and is attached to this huge animatronic of this big giant by the intestines and finds his way out of his stomach, and gets sucked back in. So it's kind of crazy, it's kind of wild, but
it's good to know that whatever I'm gonna wear might be the last time I wear it as I go through, so I'm gonna make sure to dress nicely, because I might end up on something like this. What I find amazing about the characters, this artwork that you do, is that you literally do this all by hand, right?
It's crazy, and to kind of show you what we do from the start, if we flip to the next one, so a lot of times too, we, whatever we're doing, whether we're at home or we are on the road or here on site, we all carry sketchbooks or tablets or whatever, and what I like to do is I like to sketch. I'm kind of old school, my background is illustration, and so I love to draw comic books. I love to draw characters, and this was kind of we'll take you through the process of our creature creations. And so I'll sketch out this big, huge animatronic that's sort of decayed, this Nephilim giant. And it takes you through the process here at Scary Farm. Let's move on to the next slide. How do we take these nightmares and make them a reality? On the top slide that you see is, from that drawing, we do size estimations based off of the site that we have. And we'll do specific general measurements and some specific call-outs. In the middle, you'll see, what my intent reality, and we involve our teams. And the beautiful thing about our process is that we may have a crazy idea, a crazy nightmare, but it really starts to take shape the moment we extend out to the rest of the creatives, whether they're artisans, painters, prop masters, and things of that sort. And they help create this idea to make sure that it's a reality. And with that third plate is one of the things that helps really breathe life into some of our creature creations. So it's kind of cool.
Should we take a look at the Bones of Bones and give them a quick look at what that looks like?
Dude, you guys want to see some behind the scene footage? So yeah, let's go ahead and play it. So to kind of narrate our little behind the scenes process, this is Mikey Fernandez, who is one of the incredible artisans. He's our welding master here at the farm, and he's responsible, along with the team, of creating these crazy animatronics that you see here, as well as Cody, who you probably saw walk, who's our props lead. And this is kind of sort of the craziness that we get to do throughout the year and create these creatures. You don't see this stuff, but our teams really, there's a little bit of everyone involved in our mazes. When you see it and experience it, it's not just us, and it's kind of cool to see this.
So that is the Bones of Bones that's going to be coming into Unearthed. So let's go take another look at another one of our rooms. So we have our next room. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, this is Lair the Scarab, and so as in our story, you start to uncover all these ancient deities from Egyptian deities, Sumerian, Mesopotamian deities, and here you come across Lair the Scarab, and you'll start seeing what happened to the excavation team, and here you get a pair of excavators that have been trapped inside this cavern that's filled with all these creepy crawlies, right? Things that go squishy at night. And here is the Lair of the Scarab. Let's kind of take you through the characters. So this is Half Eaten. He's one of the excavators who just has awakened from this sleep next to a cave. And when he awoke, he found this big, huge, large egg sac that has emerged from his back that has this great fruit-sized larva sloshing around, and that's going to be one of the performers that you'll see inside of our maze. He's covered in maggots, worms, cockroaches, and things of that sort. And so with that kind of language is what you'll see inside this scene.
I'll tell you, I'm okay with like spiders. I'll love to, every now and then move a spider and things like that. But if I encountered this, no way.
Yeah, sure.
So let's look at some other sketches. Tell us about what this is.
Yeah, so this is the Scarab. So this is just an initial conceptual sketch that I did over the weekend. I think just leading up to just creating these monsters. And from here on, that kind of gave us an idea in terms of what the intent was, what we wanted to happen. And then it takes you through that same process you saw with Bones, where we'll get some general measurements, we'll see if it fits the space that we have them designed in, some general call-outs, and what our intentions are, and the same thing too. So if we do a paint rendering or if we do a paint model, that just gives our teams an opportunity to collaborate with and hopefully come up with the color palette and just some things that really flesh out these creatures. So it's kind of cool.
And a quick shout out to Carrie out there, who's one of our amazing design assistants who helped with so much of this. So thank you, Carrie.
Absolutely, Carrie's right over here.
So speaking of look at some behind the scenes, we had a trailer. This is some behind the scenes shots of some of the stuff that we had. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. This is some shots of our video shoot that you guys saw the trailer of. Our wonderful team of our wonderful props team, our carpenters, our painters. Did a wonderful job in creating these little scenes and these vignettes that you see in our video and we'll see inside of our in-maze videos. But there's the level of detail, you wouldn't believe that a lot of this stuff is stuff here at the farm. And the behind-the-scenes teams just really pour their hearts into their work.
And speaking of which, these pictures that we're about to show are literally of like a week or two ago. The teams are just starting to blast through. So here's some fun stuff of our wonderful teams. We would be remiss to say, John had mentioned this. This does not come together without the amazing teams out there. From our carpentry team, paint team, audio, lighting, special effects, show control, all of these amazing people are in this live. This doesn't happen without them. So here's some more wonderful team. That thing that's right behind. Oh, never mind.
This is Richard. That was Richard.
And then this is some amazing carpentry team that's working on the maze right now from last week to today. And literally right now as we speak, they are building right now. I can hear them hammering away on the other side of that wall.
You're absolutely correct.
And then some of our paint team, we have Cagney and some of that team. So there's so much more fun stuff to come for Unearthed. So we're so glad that we can share a little bit with you on some behind the scenes looks. So thanks so much, John. Thanks for Daniel. We have Inked. So let's take a look at our trailer for Inked.
Hey, Dumbo! Down here!
this is something that we have, I think, been talking about for years. 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
So tell us
the
the
zoo was
background.
actually pitched before.
Yeah. So and it just wasn't the right time yet. So tell us a little bit about Ink. Tell us the backstory of the maze.
Well, the maze is first pitched by our wonderful 2 people from our prop team, Denise Rentenera and Xandria Ortiz. We decided to open up the pitches, and they actually pitched to me this wonderful concept of a 1930s animation studio and kind of rubber hose animation that attacks guests as they come through. I thought that was good, but I wanted to really amp up the horror. So I said, well, what if blood actually activates these animations and then corrupts them and turns them into evil monsters? And I thought that was perfect. So
it brings a brand new meaning to like my Saturday morning cartoons that I used to watch. Yeah, very different. The Inked, it was absolutely amazing. We have seen, video of the facade. You're not an animatronic out there, but do we want to talk a little bit more about the facade that we have out there? We saw the videos, guys. It was fun.
Yeah, there's a video of me waving at the train, which you're supposed to do.
It's true. It was either that or you ran into the building. I don't know which one would be better, but I like the choice that you made.
So it was pretty obvious that I was the designer over at the Accelerator Band. So yeah.
So talk about the facade a little bit. So what we have on the screen is our plate of our facade. So talk about it a little bit.
So this is the facade of a 1930s animation studio. Mortimer Morbid is the main character of this. He, again, is the animator. So you get to go through this animation studio. We start with concepting and we model these all in Vectorworks, and this is the result of this plate.
And then once we open up, sun goes down, tell us a little bit about this next thing that we're seeing right here, this fun portal.
This is an example of our animation. We had a very excellent assistant who did most of the animation. His name is Carlos Rocho. He's right there.
Carlos. Let's see over your artwork a little bit.
So he developed, this is one of the first things he did. He did these crawling creatures that came out. So this is sort of an example of the animation we'll see. This is opening up a portal. So once the blood is offered, this portal opens up, and that's what we're seeing when we're coming up onto the facade.
So speaking of this facade, I don't know if our guests can see this, but right above Morbid Studios, we have 3 characters, the characters that we saw in our logo. So tell us a little bit more about these 3 wonderful characters that we have.
So they're very cute. There is Clancy the cat, Petey Pumpkin, who is definitely related to Pumpkin Eater.
Yes.
Throw that to Pumpkin Eater fans.
Easter eggs, bro. I love the Easter eggs.
And Jeannie Ghost, who is also named after one of our associates.
Awesome. So we have these 3 wonderful characters. So tell us about the progression that starts from the beginning to the end, right? So on top we have this wonderful, image of them, but on the bottom, what happens?
Well, the blood corrupts. So every time they feast on animators or guests, as they come through, they become more and more corrupt and more grotesque until you'll see at the finale their main form that they spring out of.
And this animation, this artwork on top, this was done by the wonderful Carlos over there. And then the bottom artwork was done by Daniel Miller.
I tend to do really grotesque, so I really like it.
I will say, John had mentioned it earlier that whenever you guys are in meetings, you guys are just drawing. And I can, for one, say that every time we're in a meeting, I'm talking to you and, I'm like, oh, he's taking notes. And I look down, I'm like, what are you drawing? And so constantly just drawing, illustrating. You're so talented. I love it. So here's some more artwork. Do you want to talk a little bit about more of this artwork that we have that Carlos and the team created?
This is purely Carlos. There was 2 parts of this design, and it took a lot. One was the animated world. So everything is original animation inside the maze. So we had to basically create all of it through Adobe Animate and Adobe After Effects, with Jared. He's part of the team who's assembled the trailer. We all pitched in and did that, as well as the real design, which is the actual maze walkthrough. So it took a whole year to develop a lot of this animation.
And one of the things I remember you telling us at the beginning, you're like, yeah, and then we're gonna make some cartoons. And in my head, you know, as someone who grew up watching Saturday morning cartoons and, you know, loved all those series, I was like, wait, we're gonna start creating cartoons? And so in the queue line, it's gonna be a little bit more documentary style, but the wonderful team, you all created a cartoon to feature these characters, right?
Yeah, this is just a short little brief moment of a cartoon. So we want to kind of give an example of what Mortimer was doing to become so famous.
Awesome. We have a clip of it. Let's take a look.
Just a little taste. This world, and you actually walk through that world when you go into the maze.
Speaking of going to the maze, should we go into the maze? Let's do this. So, we have a couple images from our maze. So, there's something that you talked about, you know, we touched a little bit about, you know, blood brings them to life. But as we progress through the story, there is that, you know, going from black and white to like a colored world. So, let's talk about that a little bit. What are we looking at?
So right now, this is the cartoon world. So we're going through, and all the color has returned into the scene. There's a kind of fun guest animatronic up top. That was from Mesmer, Mr. Zoetrope, and now he's back making a guest appearance.
Makes a guest appearance in black and white. I love it. And then tell us about what we're looking at here. This wonderful.
This was actually kind of a surprise to me.
That is what we love. The art director be like, "What is that? I didn't know that was happening."
We let one of our sculptors say, "Hey, let me take care of this." I drew it out, and he went gangbusters on this not puppet. It's a sculpture of this worm.
So what I love about this, and you know, we walked through recently. Our guests, as you walk through, it's always a little bit dark, but you know, when you walk through with the lights on, you get to see so much of the artistry, right? The colors pop, everything looks so vibrant inside, and I am just so excited for our guests to get to come through and see Inked and Unearthed and just see all the work that's going through, because both of these mazes look absolutely amazing. Is there anything y'all want to share about either of the mazes or anything before we go today?
I just say, just enjoy it. I mean, we put a lot of work and effort, it's all for you guys. It's all for you to experience these worlds. So definitely come and enjoy it. What day is it open?
It opens September 18th, 17th. It was a test and you all passed. The announcement events, that is the one that is the 18th. That's today,
correct.
Right? Yeah. Awesome. Numbers all good. Awesome.
I'm gonna plead the fifth. Hope you guys enjoy what we put together. I think one of the beautiful things about what we do here is that it's such a collaborative effort, and we get a chance to really be kids for a moment and to collaborate. And the spirit of collaboration is just so awesome here at the farm. That, you know, what you guys see in both of the mazes is really a collection of so many different ideas from different people that have contributed their own little passion and part into each of these mazes. And so we hope you guys enjoy it and hope to see you guys throughout the season. So
thank you everybody for coming out. We appreciate you just being the last thing that you came to tonight. Enjoy the rest of your nights here, and we'll see you all in the fog.
Thank you.